it doesn't seem like NBA 2K25's gameplay was going to be able to sustain. I don't think it would have been able to maintain and hold the interest of the 2K player base for much longer if they didn't make some necessary changes. But those changes weren't announced. They were just noticeably different when I got on the game yesterday. And there's another aspect of 2K characteristics that I don't necessarily agree with. It's a perfect opportunity to be transparent. It's a perfect opportunity for the 2K dev team to say, we did this. We are actively working on adjusting the gameplay to make it more suitable to the masses. You don't need to go back to NBA 2K24. You don't need to stop playing NBA 2K25. We're here working with you. But instead, it seems like it's done in secret until players like myself, who are all too familiar with 2K's ways, we get on after not playing for a while and see this significant change with no announcement from 2K. No way to bridge the gap between 2K and the 2K community. And some of you guys that are watching are probably thinking, well, 2K don't care about the community. It's not in their best interest. They don't really want to bridge the gap. They don't really want to connect with the 2K community. Ronnie 2K, the whole name, Ronnie 2K. That joint was created to bridge the gap between the company and the community. That's what Ronnie 2K's personality was made and created for. If they didn't care to bridge that gap, Ronnie 2K would not even exist. So yesterday I decided to get back on NBA 2K25 and the joint, it seemed noticeably better. Let me know if you guys have experienced the same thing over the course of the last few days. Is it me? Am I tripping? Or is this some type of placebo effect? Or is 2K making some hidden adjustments that they're not telling the player base about? When I'm saying here that the game felt noticeably better, I'm referring to like the little things, the physics. Now that's not to dismiss the fact that we experienced a ton of goofiness yesterday as well, but if there was like a meter, say like a shot meter or a slider on the level of goofiness that I experienced yesterday in comparison to any other day since the release of 2K25, I would say that the 2K development team lowered that goofy meter down to about 50% from where it was. I don't know if you guys agree with that, but let me know your thoughts about that in the comment section. We're gonna go over quite a few different topics in today's video. So if any of you guys are new here, please consider dropping a like and a sub. Find anything interesting, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Let's get to the video.
It's AllCity. Load up that clip.
All right, yeah, so as I mentioned in the intro, I got back on NBA 2K25 yesterday, and I was having fun up until I decided to run the point guard position. When I got on the point guard position, that's when I was like, oh, Lord, you start experiencing the ultimate levels of goofiness at the PG position. But when I was running the other position, like I played the hash, I said, all right, I could do this, hitting your shots, finishing on, your drives. And I was also getting some steals that up until yesterday, I wasn't receiving on any of my builds, even with super high perimeter defensive attributes and steal attributes. So to me, it was clear as day obvious that since the last time I got on, 2K made some changes, but I haven't heard anything about patches or adjustments to gameplay. It had me wondering, is 2K doing some secret hotfixes to keep the player base on NBA 2K25? Because these noticeable changes to gameplay and how fluid the game was running was hella different just a week ago. And it's also coming on the cusp of some large creators calling for players to go back to NBA 2K24. You guys know I posted not too long ago that I went back to NBA 2K24, and I still believe that gameplay is better than NBA 2K25, but it is facts that NBA 2K25 got so many things outside of gameplay so right. I would like to reference this first post from Chalk. He says, as a community, can we all agree to go back to NBA 2K24? And Chalk went so far as to start hosting tournaments on NBA 2K24. I referenced this next post. He says, hosting a 2K24 Pro-Am tourney tonight. $30 a team, 100% to the winner. Why do you think a player like Chalk would go back to NBA 2K24? And I referenced this last post from Chalk because I think he kind of described the experience of 2K25 perfectly. He says here, the craziest part about NBA 2K25 is everything besides the gameplay is so good. And like everything they did behind the gameplay was done so well. From the legend grind, keeping you enticed, the way they did the max +1 and your attributes. I thought they did, the builder was dope. I thought they did the my court is dope. I just think that they did a lot of things right in NBA 2K25, including the consolidation of the city. But when you actually get on the game and get to playing the game, you can see that all the efforts were done to improve everything but the damn gameplay. Chalk goes on to say cap breakers, badge plus ones, rep system, old parks, the build system, everything is perfect besides the gameplay. And I gotta tell you guys, after getting on NBA 2K24 and then trying to revisit NBA 2K25, you could see the drastic differences in just how much better NBA 2K25 actually looks. But I think a lot of you guys would agree that when it comes to actual gameplay on the court, one of the last things that we're looking at is how the game looks. We want it to function properly so that way we could feel like we're in control of our players. A huge part of the excitement of playing any sports video game is, you picture yourself performing what you're doing on screen, performing everything that you're queuing up on your controllers, vicariously living through the video game that you're playing. In NBA 2K25, there's just too many instances where you're just not in control. So it starts to feel like a dumbed down, watered down version of sports simulation. And I'm not labeling none of these thoughts facts. These are just my opinions. So if you share a different opinion, put it in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you. It's no secret that NBA 2K25 has stirred up a lot of emotions, especially for me personally. It has stirred up a lot of emotions because, like Chalk said, I feel like they got so many aspects of the game completely right. How could you sacrifice? How could you not just get gameplay on point when you have so many points of reference in history to look back to as far as successful gameplay development? You got 16, 17, 19, and 20 staple years for the NBA 2K franchise to look back on and reference for good gameplay. How does 2K get everything surrounding gameplay so right and then get the gameplay, in my opinion, so wrong is what leaves me the most Confucius. Neither here nor there. The fact is that there's part reason as to why it stirs up so many emotions, because it seems to be a lack of proper prioritization. Either way, I want to reference this post from the good homie AllCity Big Heck. He says, people say the negativity is justified given the state of gameplay. I'm sorry, nothing is that bad. If it was that bad, you just wouldn't play it or talk about it. And he says, for instance, I don't see anyone talking about or bashing that free-to-play 3v3 cartoon basketball game in the PlayStation store. If it's good enough to keep you playing, but bad enough to make you run around producing negative energy, that's a tough sell. And he says, all I know is that I can't care enough to be that kind of person or be around that kind of person. I log on, I play a couple games. If I ain't feeling it, I sign off. I don't go out and try and ruin other people's fun or insult people. That kind of stuff is not worthy of my time, and I have way too much accountability in my actions to blame 2K for my own tomfoolery. Now, I know that message might have been translated to, people who are watching this video differently. I get that. But I want to help clear up the message that AllCity Big Heck is trying to deliver here. He's not saying that we cannot be critical of the game. And some people receive being critical of this franchise as being negative. I get that, but that's not what AllCity Big Heck is saying here. The negativity has seeped into the community so deeply, and this year is more noticeable than others because the gameplay is not keeping us busy enough, but it's seeped into the community so deeply that folks are starting to attack each other. And there's no basis for these attacks. There's no basis for this conflict. For simply saying whether you like the game or dislike the game, people are on their attack. I know folks out there who are kind of reluctant, hesitant to even say that they enjoy NBA 2K25. And a lot of you guys know I have strong feelings about NBA 2K25. I haven't held anything back this year. But that doesn't mean I go insulting other people who enjoy the game. That doesn't mean I go make people feel like they should be shamed for liking NBA 2K25. Never. You see, the main issue seems to be when I'm critical of the game, I'm critical of the company that's developing a game that I pay money for. That's really the basis to my critiques on NBA 2K games. But I refuse to let 2K turn me into some sort of mean a-hole that just don't like nobody in the community because they like this game, and just makes no sense. So in that regard, I agree with AllCity Big Heck. We need a reset. We need a hard reset. NBA 2K25 is polarizing to say the least. But if you don't like NBA 2K25, you can go back to NBA 2K24 like I did. And if 2K24 ain't hitting like it should, then you can dip on both of them and consider going to like Path of Exile 2, which I'm currently doing myself, and I'll be live streaming that on the second channel. If you guys are interested in seeing that, the link to the second channel will be in the description below and you guys can subscribe. I want to pull up this next post from WoW6 responding to AllCity Big Heck's statement, saying certain things in life you can't just accept it and let it slide. And that's where I kind of stand. I stand with WoW6 on that as well, critiquing what we don't like about a product that we spend money on. But anyway, he says, you're right, 2K25 isn't so bad that I just delete it and never play it again. But 2K25 is very bad and has lots of glaring issues with the gameplay. And I, you guys know, I've been, over the last maybe 10 to 15 videos, I've been expressing every single thought about what I feel about NBA 2K25's gameplay. But he says, I want better for 2K, as do I. I want absolutely better, and I've seen 2K be better, which is why it's so frustrating to see gameplay in its current state. But he says, I want better for the community. And that's where, AllCity Big Heck's statement resonates, because there should be pioneers within the community that help balance things out when folks are getting out of hand because of their frustrations with the game that's not keeping them busy enough because the gameplay is suffering. But anyway, he says, we all have a voice and we have a choice, but staying silent is not the answer. I think there's a way in which you could deliver your sentiments, deliver what you're feeling about the gameplay, or if you're not liking certain aspects of the new iteration of 2K, there's a way in which you could deliver. Black Cobra, he ended up chiming in as well, saying, my biggest detractor from 2K25 is that more often than not, I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. That's what I was feeling yesterday as well. That's why I said when I got on the point, I was playing the hash position and I was just shooting off a pass, so I was catching shoot shots. So that's one way to play, and you don't really gotta worry about controlling your player out there. But as soon as you start to attempt to control your player, like when I got on the PG position, you start seeing and noticing the extreme lack of control that you actually have over your player. And it seems like you're actually watching a basketball game instead of playing in it. It's just all too often moves are happening that I didn't queue up, and I'm getting conversions that I didn't feel fully satisfied were completely my doing. All too often it just feels like I know Black Cobra referenced this once before, it's 2K that's scoring that bucket, it's not me. Black Cobra continues on by saying, I like to play a very nuanced, methodical type of way that utilizes every kind of way to score, but primarily through the shots that need, and he put need in capital letters, need to be timed. He goes on to say, and though I understand the mechanics of what I like to do, or at least what I think I like to do, the nature of it doesn't feel rewarding, and I refuse to resort to spamming post spins or using real player percentage just to give myself the illusion of being good at what I really like to do. However, I am open to the possibility that I'm the problem. It might actually just be me. And he caps off this post by saying, and he may just have to accept that when it comes to NBA 2K25 and his preferred way of playing, it might not be for him. And I generally feel the same exact way. As some things that I've noticed about myself that I just say, well, I gotta stop. I stop forcing myself to try and play NBA 2K25 or forcing myself to try and like NBA 2K25. Either go back to NBA 2K24 or move on. And you guys know I made my choice, and I went back to NBA 2K24, playing NBA 2K25 every now and then. And I would like to cap off this video with a reference to what I mentioned earlier today, where it seems like 2K has made some hidden adjustments. I'm sure a lot of these thoughts and concerns from the player base about gameplay eventually get to the 2K dev team. I'm also certain that the 2K dev team notices the slightest dip in the player base or which way it's going to trend. And I imagine from what I've experienced in regards to gameplay and hearing from the 2K community, it doesn't seem like NBA 2K25's gameplay was going to be able to sustain. I don't think it would have been able to maintain and hold the interest of the 2K player base for much longer if they didn't make some necessary changes. But those changes weren't announced. They were just noticeably different when I got on the game yesterday. And there's another aspect of 2K characteristics that I don't necessarily agree with. It's a perfect opportunity to be transparent. It's a perfect opportunity for the 2K dev team to say, we did this. We are actively working on adjusting the gameplay to make it more suitable to the masses. You don't need to go back to NBA 2K24. You don't need to stop playing NBA 2K25. We're here working with you. But instead, it seems like it's done in secret until players like myself, who are all too familiar with 2K's ways, we get on after not playing for a while and see this significant change with no announcement from 2K, no way to bridge the gap between 2K and the 2K community. And some of you guys that are watching are probably thinking, well, 2K don't care about the community. It's not in their best interest. They don't really want to bridge the gap. They don't really want to connect with the 2K community. I would like to take a second before I wrap up this video to remind you guys that the name Ronnie2K, the whole name Ronnie2K, that joint was created to bridge the gap between the company and the community. That's what Ronnie2K's personality was made and created for. If they didn't care to bridge that gap, Ronnie2K would not even exist. As always, I'm curious to hear your thoughts about all this stuff. Share them in the comment section below. Drop a like and drop a sub on your way out. Catch you on the next video. Easy out. If you guys are tired of running with randoms and you're looking for players to run with on NBA 2K, come on out and join the AllCity 2K Discord. The link will be in the description below. Find players and get runs now. Drop a like and drop a sub on your way out. Leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Easy out.